I tell you what, we're only a few weeks into the football season here, and already I'm fed up. I'm wondering, what is happening with all of the New York State football teams I like? Although some people can say, oh, the Giants and Jets are doing pretty good, but you know what? They're from New Jersey. They're not from New York. Well, let me explain. Minders and Waterloo, our local teams. Heck, Mr. Carehair became the coach of Minders, and I hoped that he was going to lead the Blue Devils back to respectability, because I feel he is the best person right now for the job. Although, if he instituted his new system, in the first two games, what did it pronounce? A big goose egg. No points against Lions, no points against Red Jacket. And then we go to play Clyde Savannah, who for years and years has been the top team in the league, and all we score of is 12 points against their 41. But same old Minders team, same old story. Can't get off the schneid. And what's going on with Waterloo? After that clutch win there against Newark there on the first week of the season, what have they done? Lose to East Rochester Gananda, although I have to say, East Rochester Gananda is a pretty good team. But then I say, hope we lasso Pennies and the Mustangs. And what did Pennies do? The Mustangs lassoed the Indians. I wonder if there were a few cowboys riding on those Mustangs. Although it takes a little bit to tame a wild Mustang, if you know what I mean. But if you got John Wayne helping you, that's another story. 52-6. Let's go, Miners in Waterloo. We can do better than this. And how about it, Syracuse? Of course, South Florida had a pretty similar offense to Louisville, but look what Louisville and the quarterback did against Florida State. Florida State gave up the most points ever. Who'd have thunk that they'd give up 63 points to Louisville? It seems as though that either this quarterback in Louisville are the real deal, or Bobby Petrino is just being what he usually is, a repulsive jackass trying to run up the score. But against South Florida and the Bulls, it was a good start. But then you see the shortcomings, and you see that Syracuse right now, the Tampa 2, the defense thinks they are in Florida, the way they're playing. Heck, don't you know anything about the basics? Don't you know anything that you have to tackle the guy, Syracuse, instead of letting him run wild on the Carrier Dome turf? Another big loss, 45-20 to South Florida. And also, what about it, Buffalo? 2 games. The offense only gets into the red zone once. And that was almost late in the game when we were trying to come back after we let the Jets pass all over us. And what about that story, huh? You make Greg Roman the scapegoat and you fire him, even after he did when I started this show. Go destroy a few computers, if you know what I mean. Especially if Greg Robinson shows his ugly face around here again. Well, I'm going to go from ranting to also talking about a guy who has got a unique name, if you know what I mean. Anybody been watching Notre Dame football this year so far? Of course, there's another one to think about with losses to Texas and also to Michigan State. Albeit they made good comebacks when they fell behind pretty good against both Texas and Michigan State. But look at the name of one of their wide receivers. Who'd ever thunk they'd see a guy with a biblical-sounding name? It seems as though there ought to be a Baptist minister talking about this guy's name. It's Equanimous St. Brown. That is a holy name if you ever heard of it. I'm waiting for one of those Southern Baptist guys. Hey, it's Equanimous St. Brown. Hallelujah, testify. I'd be like, Ease it down, brother. This Catholic doesn't want to see anything like that. Well, of course, you hear that name, you want to say hallelujah, testify. And what about his brother, who's also being recruited by the Fighting Irish? His name is Osiris. Yeah, I'd name somebody Osiris, especially if I had a broom and wanted to sweep him up, if you know what I mean. But hey, we're going to get used to it because he's a redshirt freshman, and he's now become one of the starters because Notre Dame needed wide receiver help. So far, he's doing pretty good. He's going to go from acting like a Baptist minister to talking about another Christian. Tim Tebow is now working out for the New York Mets. He was signed to a minor league contract, and he's with the Mets instructional league team. Seems as though when he was in high school, along with being a great football star, he was a pretty good baseball star. In fact, that some major league teams took a long, hard look at him. But apparently, since he's not doing good in the NFL anymore, he's decided to take a crack at trying it being a baseball player. Heck, you saw what happened when a star from one sport tried it years ago. Heck, Michael Jordan tried playing baseball. Well, of course, I think he was going through the motions after what happened with his father. You saw he gave it a nice go, but he was more in tune to playing basketball. Heck, he came back to the Bulls and won 3 more championships. But who knows? As Tim Tebow says, if I get any calls to be an emergency quarterback, I'm not going back. Well, I'm going to have news for you, Tebow. After what happened on Sunday, you got to wonder. The New England Patriots could be looking for a quarterback. Yeah, Garoppolo went down hard, sprained his AC joint. Is that anything like a CB joint? Oh, heck, that's a car. Well, of course, Jacoby Brissett came on, and he didn't exactly set the world on fire with his performance. Now Julian Edelman is the emergency quarterback. Heck, Tim Tebow, don't give up your day job. You know what? New England could use a quarterback. And last but not least, of course, there's been things going around locally where Del Lago is looking for table games dealers. Heck, they could hire me. I'm an expert in legerdemain. Oh, you're a bookkeeper. No, I'm a prestidigitator. Oh, a pants presser. Pants presser, bookkeeper. Didn't you hear the guy? He presses refrigerators. Oh, no, I'm a magician. Yeah, I used to make things disappear. Oh, you're a good magician? No, I'm a kleptomaniac. Well, that's all of my ranting for this week. And to tell you the truth, come on, New York State teams. Get going. I'm very disappointed, and already I want to throw up with what I've seen on the gridiron. That's all I have. See you next week.